Hey guys, what's going on? Here's the Roof Show back again
I'm Zach.
with Zach, and I just had to do this peppy voice just now, and we're ready to go to talk about ReZero episode 7 of season 3.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. So we pick up immediately where we left off with Amelia sneaking around. We see Al, and he has defeated some of the witch cult, hasn't he?
Yo, he tore them up. They wasn't just defeated some; they were like just bodies, just countless on the floor, and I was just like not even phased by it. Like he demolished them.
Yeah, no, he destroyed them. So, do you find it odd that Al just happened to find uh the mirror after he destroyed the guys, and it happened to call Regulus?
Yes, 100%.
Because at this point, we're supposed to believe that the city is overrun by the mutant creatures, the demi beasts, or demi whatever the hell they call them, because they're not technically demi beasts, something like that.
Hmm.
Um, and he's supposed to be looking for Priscilla, and he's definitely not in a shelter.
Yeah, definitely not in a shelter.
Okay,
But he's
so
got to be close enough by too. Don't forget because he makes his way back to Subaru and all of them. Obviously, we don't know how much time has passed between the Amelia talking, him and Amelia talking, but like it had to be close by. I feel like.
yeah, yeah, basically, like it's chopped up from like what happens in the book. Like in the book, he comes back and then we get a flashback to what happened, and we hear the whole explanation. Like we get Amelia's chapter, and then whatever. But yeah, um, yeah. So he kind of just is there and tells Subaru like, "Listen, man, your girl, she did it. She got some intel for you, and here's what it is."
Yeah.
So, but then uh okay. So then the whole uh conflict comes up about who's going to give the speech.
Oh, do you want to go to space or do you want to keep talking about Al?
Well, this is ties into Al
Okay.
because Al, everyone is like, "Oh, Subaru, you can do it," and Al's like, "Nah, dog, fuck that.
You
Just
ain't
stick with
got
your
you ain't got that dog in you, Subaru.
yeah, just." Well, like so at first it comes across like he's being like condescending, like you're like you ain't got this. But then he's talking like, "No, all you have to worry about is Amelia. Just worry about Amelia. Fuck all these other people. Fuck everything else. Just focus on what you want."
Mm-hmm.
And I think this ties back to like because Al is such a mystery. We know he's from Subaru's world, right?
Yep.
We don't know how he was summoned. We don't know when he lost his arm. We can assume it was probably in the world because it's a pretty violent world.
Mm-hmm.
We get a brief glimpse, like while he's making his case for him not to do it, of like what his face looks like.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, there's just something off about him, and I really like. It showed him killing witch cultists. I feel like there's something else. Like if it's not the witch cult he's working with, he is up to something.
No, he's 100% up to something, and he 100% has some intel he's not sharing with the class. Because there's something just like even the way he was just confident that like Subaru, you ain't got this. And I know it's kind of like you said, it was condescend. It sounded like it was condescending, and he's like, just worry about Amelia. It seems like he's trying to like maybe Subaru isn't the only one that has had some sort of power given to him by a witch when transferred to this world. Like it has
Right.
he's I'm not saying he's like he could return by death or anything of that nature, but it's got to be some foresight maybe that he can see. Like there
Right.
has to be
Because
something for that
yeah, we
response.
don't know. Maybe, yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe his power is like Rem's clairvoyance, but like maybe he came in with like a copy of uh the book of knowledge or tome of whatever the hell they call it, the
Tome
tome
of
of
wisdom.
wisdom.
Yeah, or it could just be him as a person, which I don't think it is him as a. I think it's well maybe both. He just seems kind of saying, and also like there's a little defeat in a way he's talking. Like, does that make sense
I was
to
gonna
me?
say jealousy. In the
Maybe
book,
it's jealousy.
it's definitely jealousy, and then it's like defeat, jealousy, and then um I don't remember. I remember us talking about it, but like during that first encounter, like during the third arc or whatever it was, when he's riding, like after he first meets Priscilla and Al's there in the carriage with him.
Yeah.
And that's the first time we meet Al, and he literally says like 2 seconds into it that he's from the other world. When he leaves Priscilla, he says that Al gives off this like rage that looks like it's about to explode, and then Priscilla like they leave, so nothing happens to it. He does that again
Like
there,
during this
there, yeah,
moment.
like before he does the speech. Like he has that rage building up,
Doesn't him
and
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 Garth come in together? Is this something dealing with Garth at all?
no, it's about Subaru, but he insults Subaru, and Garth gets in his face, and like it's subtly done in the anime where he just kind of brushes his hand off, but it's mentioned like there's
Tension.
something is about to switch, like it's almost like a switch has been switched, and then Anastasia breaks it up. So that's something to keep an eye on. Like I really want to know what his story is.
Yeah, a part of me really like if you gave me a free 3 weeks with nothing to do, I would read all of ReZero and catch
I,
up
I would too.
because I could probably get a book done a day. I would say maybe even 2 books done in a solid like 10 hours of doing nothing other
An
than
hour, you
reading.
have to do 2 books.
Yeah, so it's just like I would love nothing more to do that. Like I'm arguing not after this episode 8, but after this arc, like entirely for the second core airs, I'm probably going to read from there because I only have like 3 more volumes of Jobless Reincarnation before I get there. But anyway, that's off track. Talking
Yeah,
about Al, there's I gotta rewatch the episode. I was gonna rewatch the episode, guys, and then it's a long day. So I don't have based on memory though. It just you see his eyes. There's something just completely, and I keep saying it's off, but I'm trying to. I don't want to say that's all people are like. He's Subaru from a different time. He's a Subaru. What if story? And I'm just like, no, I don't buy that. I feel like that'd be not what I
I feel like
think.
Subaru would number
There'd be
one.
something. Yeah, there'd be something
It would
different.
have to be the Subaru that wants to run off with Rem, but even then, Subaru wouldn't let
Uh,
himself go through all that tragedy, especially if
yeah.
Amelia is still alive and there's a way out. He would definitely tell his younger self, "Yeah, I don't buy that, but I do
Hmm.
think um maybe he's got it's something to do with the witches. I think it's
Yeah.
something he's got something going on, and I think next week's episode or this week's episode will unveil something that I think plays into the plot a lot more. Because when I read it, I was like, "Oh fuck!"
I can't wait.
Um, like like I said, the last like 20 pages. I think it was 30 pages, which is like like probably what the episode's gonna be, or just like, "Oh shit, where is all this coming from?" Um, so yeah, I'm gonna put a pin in Al at the moment
Yeah.
because at the end of the day, he still relents and lets Subaru do his thing, and he hangs out.
He
Like he doesn't just
watches.
yeah, he doesn't just fuck off. So,
Yeah.
but I just want to like say yeah, I do think it's strange. And actually, I don't know. I had a question for you.
Me.
Yeah, since you have watched and read more isekai than I have,
Hmm.
because I started Jobless Reincarnation. I've seen Konosuba, which I love. I love Konosuba. I love ReZero. Jobless Reincarnation, I really liked. I just didn't. I gotta watch it again. Um, it almost feels like Al is going through it just based on this interaction, Al is going through this world like, a hedonist. Like, I'm just gonna get what I want. What I want is Priscilla,
Maybe.
maybe. And so like fuck the world like, fuck the politics, fuck the problems of the world. I'm strong. I can defend Priscilla. I'm gonna pursue her. Um is that kind of flipping the genre on its head where like, oh, Cosmo gets brought to the world and he's poor, but it's supposed to be funny, but he brings the goddess of the world and all that. So like there's comedy there. But when Rudy, he dies. Rudy dies and gets brought back into the world. Does and because of his real world knowledge, he kind of becomes like a major player in the universe and the happenings and all that. Is what seems like Al is like, begrudgingly doing what the world has, wants him to do, but he's doing it his own way. Does that kind of seem like something where it's taking that idea and flipping it? Like, does that make sense? I know I
I
didn't probably
think.
explain that very well.
I'm trying to think. So like, so Al, like, he's a more self-centered isekai, like like he's not the protagonist, but like he like more self-centered. Like he's doing what's good for the world, but he doesn't really care about, like, he's like begrudgingly doing it. Is that what you're trying to say?
Sort of. I would say he's literally there, like he was
For
brought
his
to
own
this
benefit.
world. Yeah, he was, and then he's just doing whatever he wants. Which kind of I got the impression from what he was telling Subaru. Like, dude, who cares?
Maybe. I mean, like when it comes to other, I mean, there's so much isekai these days. There's probably a lot of characters that way. I'd even argue Rudis is similar without spoiling anything in regards to Al when it comes to self-interest more than not self-interest, self-interest in him and the ones he wants to protect, not the
Right. Right.
self-interest in the world itself. Still a major player into the world, but like doesn't care enough about all the politics if
Right.
possible. And I'm not done with that story, so but based on the 24, what am I on volume? Looking down at the volume, I'm on volume 23, like halfway through it. It is. I mean, he does get involved in politics, but it's not like he's still like it's not self-centered, but like, hey, me and my family, we matter most, and then everything else, I'll help you friends, and then okay, the world happens. I'm not
Okay.
saving the world, and he's not saving the world or
Okay.
anything.
Yeah. And we don't even know because, like, do most isekais start with the protagonist dying?
Not always. Like they just be transported. A lot of times dying. I'd say 80% of them is dying, or they could just be they get transported into the other world, like straight up. Like an example being, if you look at reincarnated as a slime, the main character dies, but like all the other characters just were living. A lot of almost every other character was living and just got transported to the other world alive, and they were just there. Like, oh, I'm here now. So like some stories yes, some stories no. I guess
Okay,
would
because
be.
all right. I guess yeah. I'm still trying to have my theories about Al, but moving on from Al. So then we get this speech. We get this like 5 minute speech, and it is the most Subaru speech I've ever heard.
In a great
And
way.
I think it's super funny because there's a whole conversation in the book about why Subaru, is the right guy to do it. And like Anastasia and Julius are like, all right, here, you want to hit these points? They write him a whole thing, right? Like just look
Just he
down,
toughs it up.
bullet points. This is what you're gonna say, right? So he starts his speech, and almost immediately goes off script and doesn't mention a single point that they actually wrote down, except that he was the guy who killed Sloth.
That's a
And
big point.
well, yeah, but it was supposed to be his leading point.
Oh, he didn't leave. He got that. He got there very late.
Because he's like, yeah, I'm a regular guy. You might think that the witch cult's defeated because I'm talking to you, but actually they're not.
No, they're
And
not. They're here.
yeah, and I'm scared, and I think my legs are shaking, and yeah, I'm pretty worried about it, and I would love nothing more to run away, but I'm not gonna do that. So you shouldn't either. And it's because I want to protect my friends and whatever. And then also I'm the guy who killed Sloth.
I mean, your interpretation of it, like, just add very great music with it, with Subaru's. That was a great speech, still. You can't lie.
No, it was a great speech.
It wasn't. I know people are comparing it to Rem's speech. I'm sorry, I do not think it's in the same league. I think it's a tier below. So when I say same league, Rem's speech is here, Subaru's speech is here. So I shouldn't say the same league. Because that Rem's speech was a whole episode. That was a 30-minute speech, pretty much. This speech was about 7 minutes long. Still a fantastic speech. Irwin level speech. Like, I'll give him Irwin level speech. But yeah, he was like, "Oh yeah, I'm the one that got killed, Sloth." And I'm like, "Yeah, you should probably lead with." Well, it wouldn't have helped his story per se. Like, obviously we know the end result, so like him being a regular guy and saying that is kind of what helped more than "I defeated Sloth." If he started with "I defeated Sloth," that wouldn't probably not have made the same impact in everybody based on saying I defeated Sloth. I'm a regular guy just like you. And it's like, by the time you got to that point, they're already kind of getting hyped up. They're getting hyped from the energy going on and what he's saying. That makes sense. That makes sense. So it's like,
yeah,
it was a good spot not to lead off, probably, for his speech.
No, I mean, it makes sense, but it was just funny because, like, after, like, in the anime, they're like, "Oh, good job," and like they do that in the book too, and they're like, "Yeah, so you didn't hit a single point that we wrote down," and he's like freaking out. He's like, "Ah, no, it worked. It worked."
Man.
So yeah, we get the speech that pretty much fires up the whole
city. Fires up Amelia too.
Right. So I think in the anime that was done a lot better. It makes more sense. So like Subaru gives his speech, right? And then you see all these, like, we saw everyone's character. Like, we saw Felt, we saw Otto,
yeah,
I think.
We saw everybody.
Yeah.
Oh, Otto joins the group, by the way. We forgot to mention that. Because Otto joins everybody. It's like, "Oh, Otto, you're still alive." But
anyway, yeah, that's at the end of the episode.
Yeah.
That's our next point, Rob. You're jumping ahead.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
But like, yeah, we see everyone in that little segment as he's giving a speech. But yeah, it really fires up Amelia, and that's like the ending chapter is Amelia getting fired up from what Subaru says. And yeah, I mean, it's a great speech. It almost seems like he is gonna rile them up to the point where they're gonna leave the shelter and start.
Yeah, I thought so too. I was like, "Oh, please don't do that, guys. Sorry, don't leave the shelter. Just keep your heads up high."
So, I think it worked a little too well, but yeah, it worked. Got them all fired up, and now everyone's. So yeah, as you said at the end of the episode, Otto's like, "Hey, what's up, motherfuckers? I'm still alive."
And
like,
"Hey!"
I
brought Jesus with me. And Reinhardt just slowly walks up and is like, "Oh, wait, we could win this. We got him." He's literally the LeBron. Like, the best way to describe this in basketball terms, for those that know basketball in my head, is this is our group is the 2007 Cleveland Cavaliers and they point to Reinhardt as LeBron James, and the Witch Cult's just the San Antonio Spurs with goats everywhere. Just like, well, we got LeBron at least. He could do something. For those few people that watch the Cavs and
the
Spurs.
Cleveland Cavaliers.
Yeah, that's the best comparison I could have. I don't know why, it just came to my mind just now when thinking about it.
But yeah, he's like, "Oh, sorry, I'm late." Episode ends.
Boom, boom, boom.
And then
Amelia also says she's gonna get married, and like
right.
she's gonna attend the wedding, not get married, but she's gonna go. She's not just gonna run away and escape.
Right. Fun fact for those of you that may have caught it, may have not. And I only actually caught this because the artist for the book drew this at the end of the book. All the Regulus's wives have their number etched into their clothing. So they are actually branded their number. And if you look, when Amelia is talking to, I believe it's 187, she's got this pattern on her um, dress, and it's the number is 187 smushed into one logo.
Buzz,
So
buzz.
what?
Nothing.
Did you hear the
I've been
vibrating?
hearing your phone for the last like 20 seconds.
Well, why didn't you say something?
I just thought it would be funny. All right, you can keep going.
Yeah, so they are all branded, which is pretty on brand, I think, for Regulus. And so yeah, we are set. The stage is set for the last episode in, I guess, part one of season three.
Mm-hmm. Yep. The stage is
And
set. All the pieces are on the board for the most. I'm trying to think if there's any piece that's not on the board.
I can't wait for you to get through this last episode, because like a lot happens.
What this just came to mind. What is it's Larry what's that group? One of them got knocked out. I'm trying to think of everything. The kid in the group with
Oh,
Larry.
that's Mo.
Mo, yeah, Mo seemed like he got knocked out by some witch cult members. They didn't get killed, just beat up.
Yeah, I don't know. I
I
really
got nothing more to say to that. I'm just
I don't really care about Larry, Curly, and Mo, but in the show they're referred to as Dumb, Dumb, and Dumber, which I think Larry, Curly, and Mo fits better.
yeah, but yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else I have other than it's a goated speech. The illustration, I like the illustration a lot in the book. Like I've seen it in the light novel, like when he's talking to everybody in the city. I really like that illustration. A part of me does prefer the Subaru design in the artist interpretation for the light novel, kind of more than like the actual design. It still looks. I love Subaru, like his design still, but I like that. It's more of that sharpness, I guess, is
Yeah,
the way to describe it.
it's more. Um, I don't know
It's
if I want to
it's
say this
it's.
word. It's more. It's looks more like not cartoony, but more
I mean,
stylized.
more style. Yeah, I think you're yeah, stylized. It's more stylized. It's more sharp, like edges, versus kind of more. I mean, even you look at all the first three seasons of ReZero are all kind of different in a way when it comes to the character designs themselves.
At least they
So,
didn't Tower of Got It.
I mean, I will. I mean, Tower of Gods. I mean, first chapters they did better. If you read if you read Tower of God webtoon, it ain't the
No,
nicest looking thing. I know you mean season one through season two.
I meant the animation
Yeah,
change. Yeah.
season one of Tower of God. I know we're off topic, but if you just want to stay around, we'll keep talking. Season one of Tower of God looks so much. Season two just looks like your basic show. I haven't watched season two because I have no interest in watching it. Because
Season
season one is so
season two.
stylized that like, but season one just looks so amazing. Season one to me, people were hating on it. I loved it like a lot, character design wise. Not saying the animation was anything crazy, but the character design, the color palette. Season one felt different. Season two feels like, damn, I've seen this there's like 20 shows that look like this
But
season.
it's so good. The story is so good.
I know the story already. I read the webtoon up to like chapter 500.
Oh, well, good for you.
I still
Uh,
haven't read. I mean, I haven't read it since we lived together, so it's been 4 years since I last read it. It was on a hiatus when I caught up, and then I think they came out of the hiatus, and then I
mm.
haven't read it since then. But
Um,
anything else with ReZero? Oh, the show we should be talking about.
no, I think the stage is set for an epic conclusion for part one of season three.